So let's talk about some common triggers for organizational restructures. Um, uh, Market shifts, technology, which is obviously coming into play quite a lot with a lot of AI stuff, mergers. Are you okay to run through some of the common triggers?
Yeah, for sure. And as you've opened up with, there's so many reasons a business might need to consider a restructure. Number one that we probably see come through the door is financial. So when there's financial pressures, when the business is going to a lull point from maybe business is slower or they've lost clients or new clients aren't coming through the door, financial is one of the main reasons that businesses need to consider a restructure. And whether that's from because their target has moved them or the market. You know, we all know the economy's been tough over the last little while, interest rates, cash is poor, it's not king. So sometimes that then rolls into business. And the cost of doing business continues to increase. So what you could do maybe today versus 12 months ago, maybe your revenue perspective hasn't changed, but the cost of business has increased, which is resulting in you need considering a restructure, I should say. Then you've got mergers and acquisitions. Sometimes businesses grow or expand into different markets through mergers and acquisitions. And as a result of that, that can end in a restructure needing to be done. So that is also another one. Technology. The world we live in is driven by technology, the wonderful AI that's on the top of our mind. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't know how they fit with it. It's no secret. Technology is the way forward in a lot of industries, a lot of different businesses, and sometimes there is unfortunate situations where the introduction of technology or the enhancement can mean there needs to be a restructure from a people front. So that's another major reason that things are resulting in a restructure. So sometimes the business might need to consolidate roles, which changes the structure because of the technology. So there's always improvements from that perspective. Economic pressures, things that are happening on our, locally, but also overseas, makes those decisions come, especially if you're a larger company and you have sister companies across the globe, depending on what's happening, that can result in restructures. And then sometimes it can be just the general misalignment. The structure for today's operation is not right. If we need to continue servicing our clients or providing products, we need to do a restructure because there's a misalignment there. So they're kind of the general broad reasons as to why restructures are triggered from that senior executive management perspective initially.
Okay, well said. And I think that's probably it's a good leading, because if I'm a CEO, COO, I'm a leader of business. We've got a lot of business leaders online right now. I'm looking at a restructure, and I'm probably looking at, let's say, a restructure against, let's say, redistributing work. So how can leaders assess whether a restructure is genuinely needed versus maybe simply redistributing work?
Correct. I think the big one comes down to, is this restructure a genuine situation, or is it created to resolve other problems like capacity or performance issues? So it's really important that you review the reasoning behind the restructure to make sure that it is genuinely needed and there's not other avenues to achieve the end goal. So work out what the end goal is and work backwards from there. You need to map out what you've currently got versus what the future state looks like. And that could also include doing skills matrix to make sure that the skills aren't there within the business, or we just need to change it in a slight way rather than triggering a full-on restructure. And it's also about consulting, communicating with your wider counterparts in the business, the leaders, managers, team leaders, supervisors, to make sure that what you think as the leader, say the CEO or the executive team, is actually happening and needed from an operational perspective.